again, but this time this is a different kind of video from our regular previews. We've been asked to do a video for you guys, so this is especially for you who watch us. A chance to get to know us, but from a football perspective, how our mind works football-y, if I can use that term. So I have a list of 6 questions here. If you could be a football player for a day, who would it be and why?
Everything to tell you is public knowledge. Ronaldinho, of course. The reason is because he's my absolute favorite footballer. Ronaldinho, to me, was the epitome of charisma in football. It was the epitome of just entertainment in football. We have today's debate of Messi versus Ronaldo, Neymar versus this person. When people talk about, this one is more entertaining, this one is a better at dribbling, this one is a better goal scorer. I think Ronaldinho is one footballer that encompasses all. He was an entertainer, he was a dribbler, he got goals, free kick taker, assists. He was well-rounded. To me, that is the best footballer of all time. I mean, Messi, all due respect to Messi, but for me personally, he's my favorite footballer of all time, and that would be who I would love to be for a day.
I have a lot of players that I admire, but the person I would love to I think you guys, if you test, you probably figure it out close, but not. As a matter of fact, this guy shocked me. I thought he was going to mention Modric, but he didn't pick Modric.
You don't answer your question without throwing down. Just answer your question.
Yeah, Patrick Vieira.
Oh, really?
Patrick Vieira, that has always been my mentor.
Okay.
I put Patrick above him, but Henry is best Arsenal player.
Why Vieira?
That's correct. Because Vieira was basically the heart of Arsenal, all those winning years. Everything Wenger achieved, that was the guy that was the glue, right? Yeah. And when he started, getting older, and Gilberto came in, we had a double pivot for some seasons with Gilberto Silva, the shadow, but it wasn't really like Vieira was the guy. He would help defensively, and he also drove the ball forward. So it was like the way Liverpool played, that it turned their midfield into attack. That was Vieira for us, right? And that's the engine. He doesn't give up. He can play the entire game. You understand? That is the striving. That's the main guy behind it. The horsepower, everything. Tall. Somebody was tall and he could use his head and he could use his legs and he'll get into the tackle. And remember those rivalry, right? Against Roy Keane. Yep. That was the only guy that could stood face to face to Roy Keane. So, no other person comes close.
For me, yes, it is Thierry Henry. And because I actually had the privilege to see him live. So the first time I watched Arsenal was an Arsenal game at Highbury in 2006, and he scored 2 goals that day. But I think that day helped me understand what it is to see football live from professionals, because the goals he scored that day, they were both from long balls. So it was balls over the top from defense. And when I tell you instant control, like ball from, 50-60 meters, and it drops right in front of him, and to experience that live. I'd been a Henry fan, like we all know what Henry can do, but to see him do it in person, like it was a magical experience. So that's why it's Henry for me. If football wasn't a thing, what other sport would you be obsessed with?
Oh, Jesus.
That's a tough one.
You guys know that I don't really. I don't know anything. I have this personal beef. No. I have a personal beef with American sports. Okay. Not for anything negative, but just because of the too much commercials. That's why. So it's hard for me to pick an American sport. However, I think I would have picked swimming. And you guys will probably be shocked because I don't even know how to swim yet. Right? Yeah. But swimming would have been the game for me. If not swimming, then that would have been hockey, because I just like the fights that they get into when it comes to hockey. But swimming first, then hockey next.
I think for me it would probably be tennis. I loved watching Serena and Venus when I was younger, and I learned to play a little bit when I was in college, just with friends. So I love watching tennis, and just there's something about hitting the ball. It's like with any professional sport, right? They make it look easy when you see how they serve, how they hit the returns. But then you get out on the court and you're like, okay, it actually takes some special coordination to hit that ball just right every single time.
Before I answer, I would say this. I've watched a lot of sports, a whole lot. Nothing comes close to football. I've not, till today, there's no sport I can watch like I watch football. You understand? So I would be picking this sport not because I enjoy watching it, because I really enjoy watching anything else but football, but because I enjoy playing it, and I still play it till a little bit here and there. Same answer as yours, Ayo. Tennis. I enjoy playing tennis. It's the workout I adopted after football and swimming. So I play football, I swim, and I play tennis. Swimming, I can do it in the winter when it starts. Basically, the pools are closed early, so even when before it becomes really cold. Football, can't play it as often as I used to play it. You know, I'm getting old. Let's put it that. But tennis is phenomenal. Playing tennis, I've tried to watch it. It's not the same, but playing it, beautiful. So yeah, tennis would be my answer.
Which football club do you think has the best fans and why? There are two that come to mind immediately. One is Liverpool, just because there's something about the cup. So I've never actually watched a game at Anfield, but when I visited the cup, just looked at it from outside, and I don't know, I had this feeling, there's this sensation that you have, or at least that I got when I was standing outside the gates. So maybe to an extent Liverpool, but the one that just springs to mind is Dortmund and the yellow wall. There's something about that, the connection the fans have with the players, and you know, that yellow wall in the stadium. So for me, that would be the club that has the best fans, and the reason why.
I'm going to answer these questions without a lot of thought, but based on my own, assumption and expectation. And maybe this will actually put it on my priority list now to visit. I will put Bayern Munich as one.
Okay.
Because it's a people's club. It's the fans club, and that's been the history behind it. Then, because of the winning mentality and the fans and how they've grown, I'll say maybe Real Madrid. Next. So maybe I need to go visit and see if my choices are really worth it. But Bayern Munich, number one. And I said that because you mentioned the yellow wall. Because I think there's much intensity and fanhood to Bayern Munich more than it is to that yellow wall. But I know there's arguments between the two. So,
you guys are picking, well, based on what I'm hearing, you're picking based on how the fans like being in the stadium. I think on a good day, most popular clubs, their fans will be rowdy in the stadium. They'll give their best. But me, I'm picking based on the fans I have a personal relationship with. And of course, you guys probably already know my answer. I'm giving it to Arsenal fans. As much as I did. Growing up in Nigeria, all my life, some of my closest friends have been. You guys are both Arsenal fans.
I told you, Biodun, these guys are undercover Arsenal fans.
I'm not an Arsenal fan. See, I'm separating the fans from the club.
I just want him to learn before I know how to tackle this guy. I don't know
I'm
yet.
a fan of the fans. Arsenal fans are the most passionate fans, personally, that I've ever encountered.
You meant to say delusional that you guys call us?
About the club, you would think this club wins every other weekend. You understand? Now, I'm not trying to teach you guys, but to answer your question, I respect the passion Arsenal fans carry everywhere they go. It's impressive. I don't think if any other club was in position Arsenal has been in that not won for 20 years. I mean, the ones I know, I don't think they'll be as passionate as Arsenal fans are. So I'm giving it to Arsenal fans with all due respect.
So based on passion,
fans themselves,
Arsenal number
club,
one.
The fans.
Passionate fans. Okay.
All right.
Okay. I chose based on the history, the fan, the support, and how people get to actually determine what happens to their club. Even when they try to buy players, they have a big role. Yeah. So that's why I picked Bayern Munich. But thank you. We appreciate it.
I'm gonna ask me.
Yeah. What's your football origin story? How did you fall in love with the game?
With the game itself, I fell in love with it just like growing up as a baby, just seeing it on the screen. My dad watched
being in Nigeria.
Being in Nigeria, first and foremost.
Being in Nigeria. funny thing is, at some point some years ago, my dad cracked the joke. Well, not really a joke. Many and said, when I was a baby and I first started walking, I first started feeding myself. Once I'm done, I'll throw the bottle down, kick it till I fall asleep. And I was like, Dad did not tell you something. Why did you send me to school instead of sending me, you know? So it's been in there as a child. Now, my origin as a football fan and origin as a Chelsea fan, two different things. As a Chelsea fan, 1998, Marcel Desailly, France 98 World Cup. Just loved him as a player. The summer I joined Chelsea. Indirectly, I started paying attention to Chelsea and I became a fan like in 2000 to be exact. So exactly 24 years ago. But origin as a football fan is being from birth.
I think the factor was just being Nigerian. That was the easiest and kind of like the most number one sport for anyone born and raised in Nigeria. We played on the street. We play without soccer cleats. We play without OCs, no shin guard, nothing. Like it's just easy. After school, just see kids come out or let's kick something, whether it's a round leather, whatever item it is, or people just roll something. Those days, the days of felele balls that we call it, right? Anything that can bounce and it's round, you just kick it, right? I remember trying to play other games like volleyball. We used to do that on the what's it called? Soakaway. Remember what we call the Soakaway? Yeah, right. So the Soakaway that they do for the sewage, because it has 4 laps, you kind of put a rope in between. So use it for volleyball, use it for tennis. Those are the other creative things you do. Or between the road for the parking lanes in your house, depending on how your house looked like those days. You use it for athletics, you run back and forth for 100 meters. But the football was just easy. You could just follow 1 or 2 guys and just play, whether it's 4 posts, 2 posts, monkey post, whatever you call it. So that was it for me. That's how we go into it. And that was also based on the media, based on TV access. For me, it also made it stronger because that was the number one sport that you could find on TV, right? Any other sport came after that, but anything they talk about sport, if it was a 30-minute segment, you will see the journalists talk about football for 15-20 minutes and use the remaining minutes to talk about other sports. So that was it for me.
So similar story to you guys, just growing up in Nigeria. And I think at the time when I started, from a very young age, just like you guys, ball in the backyard, just kicking around. But I think I have memories of when I started to really fall in love around 94, 96. Nigeria had a good team then. Yeah. And I specifically remember the 1996 Olympics final because the game ended past midnight. And I remember when that golden goal went in, everybody rushed out onto the street, even though it was passing night. Everybody was awake. Everybody was celebrating. The whole street was full. It was like it was daytime. Only it was dark everywhere and it was past midnight. And then, of course, going into 98, around 98, 99 season is when I became an Arsenal fan. Even though then I wasn't watching Arsenal on TV, but I used to read about Arsenal on the TV. Especially the magical moment for me is when Kanu scored, that hat-trick against Chelsea. That was everywhere. And then for whatever reason, it felt like Arsenal and Arsenal. I thought Arsenal actually owned Arsenal when I first, started learning about it. Because it was just too coincidental, Arsenal and Arsenal. I started understanding later about how football is and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, those are the memories I have. But undoubtedly, if you're a guy growing up in Nigeria, it's hard to escape falling into football. Which football moment still gives you chills every time you watch it? That third goal from Kanu is a magical moment. Game was done and dusted against Chelsea, 2-0 down, 15 minutes and the game completely turns around. And that third goal was scored. You still watch it today and it's like it was from an impossible angle. I don't even know why he tried the shot, because it wasn't like you couldn't think that he was trying to cross. There was nobody there in the box that he was crossing to. So to think that he saw it open and he actually went for the shot and scored it, it's magical for me. I actually got to watch, I'll just mention 2 other moments. I actually got to watch Kanu live, and it was the game I remember in particular. It's not a significant one, but it was against Eritrea at the National Stadium in Lagos.
Oh, 0? No,
yeah, I don't remember the exact score, but there was this moment where there were 2 Eritrean defenders on him on the left wing, and he just picked the ball up on his right foot, and for 5 to 10 seconds, both defenders just stood watching him. And he just held the ball there. And it's like, they had no idea what he was going to do. They were waiting for him to do something. But he just stood there with the ball on his foot. And then he just played the pass back.
I think mine still remains 1996 Olympic, Atlanta 1996, the equalizer, Nigeria against Brazil. And that was it because I could remember, I still picture it till tomorrow. My dad left the room, I think when it was 3-1, and he just tied his towel, said he was going to bed, and he said good night. And I was there with my older brother, still in the living room, and like, I was about to start crying anyway, but I'm like, it's gone, I might as well just see the end of this game. Then I think it was Victor Ekpeba, 3-2, right? So it was Victor Ekpeba that scored the second goal, 3-2. So at that time, I was like, should I wake this man up? Like, no, let him be. So then the 3-3 came, and it was Kanu. So I went straight and I banged his door. Bam, 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 come out. I actually thought it was my family, because it was 4 flats on this side, 4 flats on the other side, the house we lived in. So I thought it was just my family that, were just still up watching the game. I didn't know. Then I started seeing lights popping from other flats. Like, people are still awake, because it was midnight for us that time. And I knocked his door, then it came out like 3-3. And before we knew it, man, it was 4-3. And we all came out of our house. That was like midnight, around 1 a.m. to him. Everybody came and just rejoicing and all that. So I still remember that day very, very well. That still remains my number one magical moment when it comes to the game.
So for me, magical moments, they top each other. So one will happen, and then for years later, another one will take over. That one, Atlanta 96 was a big one. Funny story linked to yours, Biodun. My dad actually doesn't watch. We don't like letting watch Nigeria's games because at some point, whenever I watch it, Nigeria will win. So when Brazil was leading, he was watching. Then we told him to go to bed. Then we came back. That was one. That was magical moment. But my most current magical moment was May 19, 2012. 2 moments in that game. Champions League final, Chelsea Bayern. When Drogba scored the equalizing header and the final penalty kick that confirmed that we won the trophy, bruh, I had goosebumps for a minute. May 19, 2012, Champions League final, Chelsea Bayern Munich, definitely my favorite moment.
I hope everyone has enjoyed watching this. By the way, if you're seeing this and you're not yet subscribed, we're actually begging this time, it means so much to us to see our subscriber count, just tick up one by one. So if you haven't, please just click that button for us now. We really appreciate it, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed this little session, getting to know us and our football history. All right. Catch us on the next one. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.